Hello and welcome. I'm Adam Dennison, Vice President, Midsize Enterprise Services with the Channel Company. And thank you for joining me today for this webcast where we'll be talking about changes in the PC industry. In particular, the shift to Copilot plus PCs and what that means for small and medium businesses. I'm joined today with a couple of experts in the industry. I want to say thanks to them real quick. Introduce Scott Slater. He's America's sales leader for Microsoft Surface. Welcome, Scott.
Hi, Adam. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And from the Intel team, we have Matt Harrison. He's a PC technical solutions specialist with the Intel folks. Thanks a lot, Matt, for joining us as well.
No problem. Happy to be here. Look forward to it.
And then later on, we will be introducing you to Jude Hanno, and she's with the Microsoft team as well, and she's going to walk us through a hands-on demo. But before we get started here, the specific title of this webcast is Why Surface Copilot plus PC with Intel are the smart upgrade for small and medium businesses. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Scott, let's start off with you. As America's sales leader for Microsoft Surface, you obviously have the opportunity to talk with a lot of your customers, kind of have your thumb on the pulse of what's going on in the PC industry. So can you kind of talk to us about what the feeling is out there right now, in particular within Microsoft, and just what is Copilot plus PC for someone like me that is not a technical individual?
Yeah, thanks, Adam, and a great way to start the conversation today. It is a truly exciting time inside Microsoft right now. Microsoft was founded in 1975, and this year is our 50th anniversary. And the feeling inside Microsoft right now is that we're at this most transformative moment in our company's history. And that's because of this new era of work today that's being driven by AI, being driven by new intelligent devices, and these new connections that are forming between people and data in new and powerful ways. I'm glad you asked the question of what is a Copilot plus PC? It is a new term that we introduced, and what it means is it's a new category of devices. These devices are purpose-built to unlock the potential of AI at work. They're faster, they're more secure, they're built to drive AI experiences right on the device. And one of the phrases I like to say to get people to understand what a Copilot plus PC is that when you hear the term Copilot plus PC, think of a PC leveled up for AI, okay? And I'll just add to that is we created Copilot plus PCs with our silicon partners like Intel to really unlock this potential of AI. These devices are powered by what's called an NPU, a neural processing unit. You'll hear myself and Matthew talk about that a lot today. An NPU is designed to run AI features locally on a device. Every Copilot plus PC must meet this same performance bar, which is a minimum of 40 TOPS. TOPS stands for trillions of operations per second. It is a measurement to measure AI performance on hardware. And one way I like to explain it is to think of TOPS in AI like horsepower in a car. The higher number of power you have, the more demanding AI workloads you can run. And what this means for businesses, Adam, is it's faster performance, more responsiveness, better efficiency, higher security. And for businesses, it means their people can work smarter and faster, and organizations can have a device that's really built for the future of work.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. And as an end user, those are the types of things that I want to hear, right? More horsepower, faster, more efficient. I think it's interesting how, you're bringing AI closer to the end user and the individual right on their PC there. It also stood out that Microsoft, I did not know that it's Microsoft's 50th anniversary. So I was 2 years old when Bill got that started. Matt, let's turn over to you real quick here and kind of get the Intel's perspective on this. The shift in the market and where Intel plays here, and your perspective on just what a Copilot plus PC is.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people actually associate AI with a GPU. That's where things are happening kind of in data center or high-end workstations, et cetera. And, why not throw all the AI there? Well, it's just not sustainable, especially with a portable laptop that's not always connected into power. And just looking out in the future, we needed something that could handle a more sustained workload, especially for tasks and pattern recognition that have to happen constantly. So yes, the minimum bar was set at 40. Our Lunar Lake systems, together with Surface, are actually at 48 tops. But we don't forget about the other components. We have a powerful GPU, providing 67 tops, and then the CPU, which is more focused on serial tasks, right? Not the greatest multitasking tool, but it still contributes about 5 tops overall. So overall, we're looking for 120 tops in the system. And, that's not everything, right? We can get into it if you like, but there's other measures of time to first token, et cetera. How well do we switch lanes between different AI tasks, things like that. So we can't look at just one vector, but that is a good way of kind of looking at the outset to kind of compare platforms.
Got it. Thank you. So let's get into it. If I'm a mid-market IT leader, I'm making decisions for my organization. If I'm an end user, and why should I care about a Copilot Plus PC, Scott? Why now? Why? Kind of tell me what they should be thinking about here in terms of that.
It's a great question, Adam. And I think businesses today, there's lots of challenges they're facing. Businesses that are both large and small. The top things that I hear from every business that we work with, it's doing more with less, which means fewer resources, right? The second thing I hear most often is how do we enable our most important assets, which are our people, right? With devices that are long lasting and enable them to get their best work done. The third thing I hear from IT teams is how do we keep these devices secure? How do we enable our people to work from anywhere, especially in today's hybrid work environment with 3 days in the office and 2 days at home? And Surface Copilot Plus PCs built with Intel, they address all of these things. They help us accelerate those everyday tasks. They're built with chip to cloud security. We'll talk about that later on. They also enable modern management, which makes it simple to deploy and manage and secure these devices within the Microsoft ecosystem. And that's the difference with these devices.
Got it. So now thinking about the landscape of devices in the PC world. And this question is for both of you. It's competitive landscape, right? There's a lot of players out there. So really, what makes Surface Copilot Plus PCs with Intel, stand out, makes it a market leader and something that an IT leader and again an end user should be looking for, should be asking for out in the market.
Well, I'll start by sharing that Surface Copilot Plus PCs are Microsoft built. Okay. And that means that Microsoft's bringing together AI innovation, adaptability, and enterprise grade security to enable this future of work that's being driven by AI. But when I say Microsoft built, I mean that these devices are engineered, they're tested, they're designed with people at the center by Microsoft. They're built to meet real customer needs. They're designed for comfort, for usability, for long-lasting value. They're shaped based on customer feedback. Every single device is crafted to elevate the experience, to maximize ROI, so that businesses can achieve more. And look, there's lots of little differences that make Surface Copilot Plus PCs different than other devices in the market. But I'll share just a couple little things. The first is that they're thoughtfully designed by Microsoft. And what I mean by that, they are designed by top engineers and designers in Microsoft labs. They're built with premium craftsmanship that is based on usability and comfort. They're grounded in sustainability and accessibility to meet all the different user needs and abilities within an organization. And all of that happens in-house at Microsoft. And then I shared what every company's asking for. It's for a device that lasts really long. And these devices are built and engineered to support multiple year life cycles, okay? With exceptionally long useful life. And what that means for businesses, which is one of the most important things, is lower TCO, lower total cost of ownership.
Got it. Matt, what would your perspective be on that from Intel's side?
Yeah, I mean, people want a quality machine, right, to start with. For some, it's like, hey, the AI is a bonus. We know that's coming. We want to future-proof, et cetera, but they want a quality machine. I compared to a system that I had just a couple of years ago, where the norm was, frankly, after a pretty burdensome IT load, I was getting like 2 or 3 hours of battery life. Not great, right? The Intel image is a little bit big, so small, medium business, you might get better, but last year we did a little bit better, 5 hours. Now I'm getting regularly 10 hours. I think on a competitive benchmark perspective, we're sometimes saying 20, right? But that's a consumer system. So the performance is there from regular things, but the other piece that I think Intel is known for is just a stability and a security in terms of driver reliability. We want to have an open platform where off-the-shelf software providers can develop their most innovative software. And we also want to give a platform, maybe we get into tools a little bit later, where frankly, even smaller businesses can develop AI that is meaningful to them as a small organization or even as individuals. So we want to provide that open platform that's also safe and trusted.
Well, you caught my ear. Someone that travels quite a bit domestically. Maybe you forget to charge the laptop appropriately overnight. You go to the airport, the power's not working when you're waiting for your plane, and then you can only get it halfway across the country, and you're out of work there. So, hearing those larger battery lives again from someone that's a user, that's a big plus. I can certainly say. Scott, I want to talk to you. Again, right? AI. You can't have a technology discussion right now without talking about AI. All facets of it. But where does AI actually meet the user when we're talking about, Copilot plus PC, and in particular on a Surface? Where's the user going to say, okay, now I'm interacting with AI. This is where I'm getting these benefits from. This is really cool.
Yeah, I'll start by you're right. Every business is asking the same question today, right? It's how can I harness AI to move faster, to be more secure, and to unlock more value from my people and my data. And we're seeing AI reshape businesses with how they operate and grow today. We're seeing real vertical specific use cases emerging right now that are transforming businesses. For example, in financial services, we're seeing AI detect fraud better. We're seeing AI equip advisors with faster and better information to service clients better. But what AI is doing, it's redefining workflows and unlocking new opportunities for companies. But it's not only about vertical specific use cases, it's also about horizontal use cases across everyday roles in every organization from HR to IT, right? So in legal, we're seeing HI speed contract analysis and document review. In IT, we're seeing it streamline threat detection and support. And what it's enabling people to do across every role, it's to work smarter and faster. But to be more specific, meetings, which everybody is in meetings all day long, and we're seeing clearer audio, better framing, real-time summaries. With email, we're seeing faster drafting and shorter processing time. With documents, we're seeing more AI suggestions and AI helping document creation. With security, we're seeing on-device intelligence with detecting risks earlier and faster. And there's so many of these things that exists today on Copilot plus PCs with Intel. And that's the difference. It's moving intelligence closer to the user on the device.
Got it. Matt, talk to us a little bit, bring us inside the PC itself. And you mentioned it, NPUs earlier. Can you kind of play that out a little bit more, define specifically what the NPU is? How does that enhance the experience? What's the value and the benefit behind that?
Yeah, actually, and it kind of ties into the last question too, because when you ask, hey, how does this impact the employee? You almost have to think about, well, the employee that's using the system or the employee that's supporting the system. So, of course, on the second half, I'm talking about the IT person, because that's actually probably the person that's going to benefit most from it. If you're directly supporting these machines, or if you actually even have that outsourced to a partner. I constantly am talking to people, what's your most intrusive task? Well, it's not one thing. It's the sequence of, I have this security and this Teams and this, all these different agents piled up on top of each other. And when you can offload those as an IT individual and all the telemetry, things like, hey, your battery life is this and your Wi-Fi is that. When you actually can do that analysis locally, you don't have to flood who's ever looking over that system with alerts. You can actually cut down on those. So it should make that person's life easier. And the end user might be even a skeptic saying, hey, I'm not really using a lot of AI, but this system sure is snappier, right? It's because everything that was previously burdening that system has been shifted over. So yeah, in terms of the mechanics of it, I mean, it's I might actually even have to reference, right? So it's a different calculation. It's typically a tensor calculation versus a vector calculation that happens on the GPU. So sometimes it is not as precise, but again, it is a sustained type of analysis. I like to kind of demystify AI a little bit by just saying it's pattern recognition, right? If you're looking at all of these little dots upon the screen, that there might be words in an LLM, or they might be, a heat signature or encryption that's happening on the system that might be indicative of a ransomware attack. Just like, how do those group together? And if we need to generate something, let's generate something in that same pattern and repeat it. So, AI really demystified is just pattern recognition and repeat. That's what it is.
So making things more efficient, making life better for an IT administrator, someone that's going to have to manage this stuff, is what I'm hearing here, quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I don't think I touched too much on the end user themselves. I mean, there are folks, especially in the creative realm, that want fast turn. All of the LLMs that are coming together, we're seeing that people want to own their own repositories in terms of information. They may have a company repository, and there's all sorts of different strategies as the best way to do that. But yeah, I will throw out one thing that Intel has done recently is we've created this AI assistant builder where you can say, hey, until I really get a better understanding of this, I don't want to adopt it in a big way, but yeah, I'll throw all of my documents into this as a free software, and then I can query those, ask questions to it, et cetera. And as you build a more compelling case, you might say, let's put this on a shared server. And then you're talking about using features like the Copilot in the data center and kind of a cloud environment and a dedicated workspace for your company.
So it's kind of like an individual's personal sandbox before they're ready to bring it to their organization.
Correct.
Interesting. Scott, I want to go back to you for a second here. And again, putting the IT leader hat on, I've got competing priorities. I've got budget priorities. I've got all kinds of things here that I'm dealing with, especially this time of year. As we're heading into the turn of a year. And a small, medium business, mid-market business, whatever you want to call them, they might keep devices for 4, 5, 6 years. I know the last time I was doing an upgrade, I'm like, my device is fine. I don't want to do a change right now. I don't want to have to refigure all the passwords and all that kind of stuff. And go through that, but it ended up being a positive for me. But why should they think about, hey, now's the time to upgrade, even if I might be mid to late cycle and we don't need to be there yet, but I should be thinking about this. What advice would you give to them? What would you say to them?
Good question. So we're seeing a lot of shifts happening right now. There's different expectations of employees with them wanting more modern AI features. And then you're right, from an IT standpoint, one of those things is having longer lasting devices. The Surface Copilot PCs, these devices have driver and firmware support for at least 6 years, which supports that lasting value across life cycles. Uh, IT, the challenge with IT is they want more secure devices, more efficient devices, and they want to enable more AI experiences. One of the interesting outcomes that we're seeing emerge right now with these devices that are a platform for AI innovation is giving IT more flexibility to balance costs and control where those AI features run, whether they run locally on the device with a device like a Surface Copilot PC that can support AI features versus the cloud. So it allows organizations to balance those costs for where AI innovation happens. Matt mentioned longer battery life, but that's such an interesting one that is a challenge for most organizations. Just imagine all those employees that come into the office, they go from desk to meeting room, from meeting room to open workspace, back to a meeting room, floor to floor, and not having to go back to their desks to recharge. That's a workspace game changer right there. Uh, just a couple examples, but what we're seeing is these Surface Copilot PCs represent this new baseline for computing in organizations. It's not only about a platform for AI innovation, but it's about having a device that performs faster, that is more secure, has longer battery life, and gives that flexibility with AI features growing so quickly right now for AI to control and balance where those costs are.
So it could be an opportunity for the decision makers within an organization to say, we might not be at that stage yet where we're forced to do an upgrade, but if we do it now, we'll be more secure, we'll be more efficient, people will be happier, and then we could extend that one out longer because it's a purpose-built machine that could allow them to extend that next cycle out. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, total cost of ownership is always one of the top uh, questions that we get from customers, and total cost of ownership connects to the expected device lifetime, right? And for having these devices that have device and firmware support for at least 6 years, that means lower TCO for organizations.
Yeah, Matt, what's your perspective on timing?
Yeah, I'll jump in a couple of ways. There was a lot of machines bought in 2020, the first year of the pandemic, right? And a lot of people, hey, I get it, budgets are tight, whatever. But in 2021, we introduced something called control flow enforcement technology. Not to go too far in the weeds, but it's basically just a hardware-based way to say, hey, I clicked on this link. Am I still on the same source code, or did it jump over to something malicious, right? Our competitors basically replicated the same thing. So it's out there. And unfortunately, nobody talks about it because it's not a differentiator. But it is a differentiator in that from that year, 2020 to 21, the surface level attack just got dramatically reduced. I think it's like 30-40% less of an area to attack because of this one feature. So increasingly, security becomes the reason for you to upgrade your fleet. And we've already seen that with Windows 11 and other pieces, but each and every year we're trying to introduce new and better security enhancements together with Microsoft to make these devices secure.
Yeah, and I talk with CIOs and heads of IT all the time, and it's not going to slow down anytime soon. They always tell me when they're heading into budget, if you can say we're going to be more secure and you can attach that piece of it to your request, there's an opportunity for them to get things through. So I think that's a great point when you start talking about the fact that these PCs are going to be much more secure than what they currently have, and kind of help move them forward.
Yeah, Adam, I'll even take it up a notch and say these are the most secure PCs ever built by Microsoft. Anybody that speaks Microsoft has heard Microsoft say, these are intentionally built-in features, and that includes chip-to-cloud security. And chip-to-cloud security means security built in at every layer, from the firmware to the OS to the apps to the cloud management tools, security at every layer from the cloud to the device.
Got it. Now, did you have something you're going to follow up with?
Yeah, I'll just throw out one other thing in terms of the timeliness. Unfortunately, we are seeing, and you can look at news articles or whatnot, projections of PC components increasing in price. And one thing that is a bit different for a Lunar Lake system, the 200V Surface Copilot Plus PC, is that we actually have on that little postage stamp size little chip, not only the CPU, GPU, and NPU, we actually have embedded DRAM or memory on that chip. And we purchased that in the early part of this year and contractually got the pricing that was there. We're actually projecting that that lasts through the end of next year. It's a projection, right? And your users are hearing, hey, we'll talk about something next year, et cetera. But actually, it gives a great longevity and a really value play for this platform, which, hey, don't get me wrong, this is a performance machine, but increasingly because of that DRAM being on it, it actually becomes more compelling relative to any other system that doesn't have that. And maybe we can throw a graphic up of what that looks like just for people to kind of visualize, hey, yeah, usually that's a separate piece on that anybody's actually opened up a PC box before, but it's actually on the chip.
Got it. So before we cut to the demo, Scott, I'll turn to you again. Just again, thinking about what are the different factors that an organization, an individual decision maker, what should they be weighing before they make their next decision on where they're going to turn for their employees for their device?
I think it's three things, Adam. All right. There's lots of things to consider, but we'll summarize it to three things. So the first one, employee experience. Think about how this device will make their employees feel. Will it help them get their work done and accomplish their goals faster and better? Will the employee feel like they're invested in by their organization to do their best work? The second thing, we talked a lot about it, is the device lifetime. How long can the device last? And the longer it can last means lower total cost of ownership. You heard me talk about support up to 6 years, right? These are some of the longest lasting devices in the market today. And then the third one, you heard myself and Matt talk about this a lot, but from an IT standpoint, it's how easy it is to deploy, manage, secure, and support these devices. And what we didn't talk too much about, but is a real differentiator, is Microsoft Surface Copilot Plus PCs and Microsoft Cloud Management with Windows Autopilot and Microsoft Intune create an end-to-end Microsoft ecosystem, which means lower TCO, greater IT efficiency, and just simplicity with the deployment, management, and security of IT devices. And what that means is lower TCO and less people to support endpoints.
Got it. Got it. Those are all things that will get an IT leader's ears to perk up. Absolutely. So why don't we go ahead and go down a different path here and see how these things are going to actually work. Take a look at the devices and see what the experience looks like. So why don't we go ahead and go to the Surface Copilot, the Surface Studio, and have Jude Hanno take over and walk us through a demo of Surface Copilot Plus PCs with Intel.
Thanks, Adam. As Scott mentioned, we're entering a new era of intelligent devices where cloud AI and on-device AI work together. All of the Surface devices with Intel here meet the Copilot Plus PC standard, which includes over 40 TOPS of an NPU designed for AI acceleration. On this table, I have a Surface Pro 11 13-inch, two Surface laptops, a 13.8-inch and a 15-inch, and a Surface laptop here with 13.8-inch with 5G. These give SMBs the flexibility to choose the right device for every role. These devices are beautifully crafted, light, comfortable, and balanced. The keyboard, the trackpad, the chassis are all designed to support productivity and all-day use. Now, Surface Pro provides maximum mobility and versatility. Sustainability is core to Surface. These devices use more recycled materials and are engineered to be more repairable with replaceable SSDs, displays, keyboards, batteries, and more. And security is built in at every layer with Windows Hello, Pluton, and Intune, so SMBs get enterprise-grade protection and simpler management across all devices. Now, every business has different needs, and Surface offers options for each. You have a 13.8-inch laptop for everyday productivity, a 15-inch laptop for multitaskers and creators, the Surface Pro 2-in-1 here for mobile roles, and the 5G model for employees who need secure, always-on connectivity. This helps organizations match the device to the role rather than forcing one device on everyone. These are all Copilot Plus PCs, which means AI features are faster, smoother, and more efficient. The Intel NPU accelerates AI tasks without slowing the system. And this guy here is the Surface Laptop 7 with 5G, which provides secure, always-on connectivity without relying on public Wi-Fi. This is perfect for employees who travel or just work remotely. So these devices are secure, sustainable, beautifully designed, and built for the AI-powered future. Surface Copilot Plus PCs give SMBs the right device for every type of role. And with that, back to you, Adam.
Okay, thank you, Jude. That was fantastic. Thanks so much for taking the time to share that with us and walk us through the devices. We really appreciate it. So as we wrap up here today, again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. But Scott, Matt, I just want to give you last words. Any parting thoughts or pieces of advice that you'd like to share with our audience here of mid-market IT leaders?
Yeah, I'll end on that. You heard us talk about the value of these devices. I encourage you to put these devices in your users' hands. Let them experience these devices, and I think the value will quickly be realized.
Awesome. Thank you. Matt?
Yeah, just believe it or not, I started at Intel 30 years ago. So I don't know exactly what that makes my age, but this is one of the most exciting directions we've taken in a long time. I mean, I'll willingly admit, back a few years ago, Intel's hit some bumps along the road, but we are on a trajectory to really do some outstanding things. And, most fulfilling to me is when you see an end user or IT get something in their hands. They're like, wow, this actually makes my job easier. And that's what's so exciting about this systems. You totally see that when they get that this is not a 5-10% change. This is a significant jump forward. And so it's been exciting.
Well, again, I think obviously from an end user experience, anytime you can get something that's cool in their hands, Scott, I like the way you said, my organization's invested in me because they're giving me something that's going to make me, work better, faster, longer battery life. But also it's kind of cool, and you're actually bringing AI into the user experience. So I'm not just hearing about it all over the place. I'm doing it on a day-to-day basis. Again, I want to thank Scott from Microsoft. I want to thank Matt from Intel. Jude, thank you so much for the demo as well. I'm Adam Dennison, again, Vice President, Midsize Enterprise Services with the Channel Company. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us today, and we hope that you'll check out these new devices for your organizations very soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.